Alright everyone, JB here, and we're back with another Dragon Ball Legends video here on the channel today. Now today, a couple things to talk about regarding the festival, because one of the biggest celebrations of the year. So therefore expectations are, I would say, at least high for this celebration. We're going to talk about anything that they might can add, maybe some new stuff, maybe new mechanics, you know, all that good stuff. This is going to be a lengthy video, so if you want to skip to a certain part, there is going to be chapters. You know, YouTube automatically adds them. But if you are new around here, you're sitting here in that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, it's very much appreciated. And also consider joining the Discord if you're just looking for a community to join, or just raid buddies, because we are going to be seeing some raids during this festival, so be sure to check that out. Now, first things first, as you see pulled up on the screen, we're going to talk about Hoi Poi, because this has to be the worst Hoi Poi that we got, which is for the 5th anniversary. Now when I say this is the worst, normally the best Hoi Poi that we normally get is the step up. That's the one that we want because it guarantees you the rewards, while the final step is basically randomized, right? Now this Hoi Poi, this was basically them pretty much giving us a rate for pulls, similar to if you just summon for a character and you have a certain percentage of a rate. That sucks, because this was horrible. You can grind out 1,000 Hoi Poi medals and you still wouldn't get the Legends Limited Z power that was in here, or the crystals. So for them to do that, that kind of set them back a little bit, and I really look at it as just why, you know. Same thing with now I will say one thing, Raging Battle is actually pretty good. Now the past, I think the last 2 celebrations, I don't think we got one. I think this one was the most recent with Vegeta Blue. So we did get one for the Silence from the Movies campaign. We didn't get one for the Path to Power, or basically, well yeah, basically the Path to Power campaign. Now this is already solid as it is. Just make sure you bring this maybe for part 1, part 2, because that's an easy 1,000 crystals. Now same thing with Hoi Poi, it guarantees you, if we get the step up, which is what they need to add, that is a guaranteed crystals, guaranteed, I think it's 100 or 200 Legends Limited Z power. So they can keep this, you know, make sure they do at least bring it back, give us something, you know, it's going to be related to whatever we get for part 1, which we're all thinking Universe Rep. So therefore make sure you bring this back. That's 1,000 crystals, because the game seems to be catering more to the free to play side, right? Now in terms, besides the Raging Battle, besides the Hoi Poi, we are expected to see, you know, the same things that they normally recycle, like Chance Time, the raid. We also have something called, we get the free LF every 10 days. So we got that, Tuesday Medal, and also Shinron. Now those are something that we're gonna get this festival. We're expecting to see that, because we see it on every single celebration, every single just normal campaign too. Not all of them, but most of them. Now looking at something else over here, Full Power Battle. This isn't the first time that I mentioned this. This needs to get buffed in terms of just rewards. It's fine as it is with the erasers, you get these other medals and the Z power, but just throw in some crystals. 500 per stage. I think there's only 3 difficulties, so therefore that's 1,500 crystals. This would go a long way to show, you know, our appreciation to free to play players, because think about it. With every new release, you know, especially Ultras are already premium as they is. Every new release is going towards that premium side, where free to play players are kind of missing out, you know. But it kind of caters to, like, you need to bring some balance to the game. This is the perfect time to do it, because there's going to be a lot of players joining the game or just returning, because it's really just a big celebration that just calls out to those players, right? Now all you gotta do is add crystals. That's all I'm asking for. That's all everybody else is asking for. Because think about it from a new player's perspective. What if you don't have the units? You know, And there is other options, but it just makes it a little bit harder depending on the difficulty. So make sure you just consider that, Legends, if you're watching this. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about something new that they possibly can add. Now, Dokkan Battle has something called a Super Battle Road, where basically you bring a certain tag and you go against certain tag opponents. So they can do something like that. It's multiple stages, and this would be something cool because we need something new. I'm not even talking about PvP right now because PvP is the main standpoint of this game. We need something new in PvE. Last year festival, plenty of rewards dished out. The issue with it wasn't enough content. That's why I felt kind of dry starting off in the first and second part of the festival. And you don't want that, because that gets people to just leave. Most of the time it is, you know, you're here for the characters, but you're also here for the content. If there's no content and it's just only just PvP, well, that sucks, you know. And I look at it as they can do something like this, right? Even if it's only temporarily, give us maybe like, I don't know, a couple hundred per stage. So maybe give us, I would say at least between that 300 to 500 range for each stage. Give us a couple stages. We're solid, good. You know, add something new because the game feels dry. Sorry about that, guys. But besides this, maybe they can also add something like a world tournament mode. Sorry about that, guys. So we do have something similar. I'm sorry if I'm still clearing my throat. I'm still kind of recovering from my sore throat. We have something similar to that. They did something with when we got the buff for the world tournament buffs and stuff, but it wasn't actually like world tournament related, right? Where you're going against certain opponents and you have, like, you know, the beginners, the semifinals, the finals, all of your stuff. Add something similar to what Dokkan has. Give us a tournament mode. You go against certain opponents. The only difference is with that is you're not going to be going against, you know, certain opponents. It's at random, and you won't have to use a certain tag. You can use whatever team you want. Give us like maybe, I don't know, a couple hundred, at least, like I said, 300 to 500 per opponent you defeat. So it'll be something nice. More rewards, different content. That's what we need. We need something new, something different. We do get new mechanics every now and then, but that's just the issue of that's the difference that sets Dokkan and Legends apart, is the PvE content. And while, you know, Dokkan is basically PvE because you're just barely any PvP, it's not a PvP game. So you have to look at that and consider that. Hopefully they do consider doing something with this, at least maybe this world tournament mode. You know, it would be really nice to see something like that. Now, besides those two, right? And besides that, maybe they can add some new chapters for the festival, during the festival, for the story mode, because you know, every so and then, every couple months, we get some type of update for chapters in story mode. Maybe even a new transformation for Charlotte. We do not have Super Saiyan 4 for him, so we might see something like that similar. But let's hop over here really quick and look at Universe Rep. Now, we're going to talk about something real quick. Besides new mechanics, there's also something to talk about with the plats, specifically LF plats. Now, we're thinking we're getting Universe Rep because we're thinking about tag, you know, Kaioken, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue Evo Vegeta. So we do get them, good, right? But you have to expect that we're gonna get some other buffs because we recently just got Jiren Zenkai. So therefore, that already kind of hints that part 1 is pretty much guaranteed to be them. But they could switch it up. Now, looking at some LFs, MUI, he's up for grabs. I feel like it has to be either him, maybe Evo Vegeta right here, or maybe this UI. And this UI, he's really, in my opinion, he's solid, even without the plat. He just, I feel like he's still a little underwhelming, but he is definitely solid. So these three are my just top picks. Maybe they can give it to this Revival UI. I feel like he's still solid in his own way as well, but they just don't feel like sorry guys, I can't talk. But they just don't feel like an over top type of unit, right? So besides them, you know, there's nobody else really in Uni Rep you can look at and just say, bam, that's them. it has to be them, right? So those are my top 3 picks looking at that. Now, if it is a different tag they might buff for the first part, I don't think that they will, because it kind of seems like you know, universe rep automatically. There's a couple other options when you're looking at LF units. At least you do have maybe, I don't know, maybe Vegeta and Trunks. These guys just recently got theirs. The tag 4s could also use a plat. You know, it's been a minute since they got any type of buff. Even though we are expected to see GT get buffed this festival, there are a few options looking at certain LF characters. Maybe even these guys, they might get a Zenkai this festival. You never know. But besides that, you know, looking at the first festival, technically the first festival was this UI, was when we got the mechanic of unique gauges, right? His was pretty much the same as MUI, the dodge mechanic. So it kind of goes into perspective of what we could possibly get in terms of just new mechanics. Because look at this festival, and then we look at the next Legends Festival, we got the first ever tag unit, following that up with the first ever Ultra, well, summonable Ultra. So it kind of looks at it, could we get some type of new unique gauge mechanic, maybe some type of new mechanic dealing with the LFs. Same thing with the Buduro. These guys were the first to ever get something that's what we call it, preparation mode, where technically you have a character on standby and the other character stays in until the other character pretty much fully charges, which is basically their LF. So kind of goes in perspective, right? What could we possibly get? I'm thinking we might get something regarding unique gauges, probably for the Ultra. If not, maybe something for the LF units. They have also done something new every Legends Festival. I can't say too much about the anniversary, but during the bit celebrations, we do get something new in regards to mechanics to just break the game. It's really just, it's insane. We might see something new. You know, you never know. Hopefully, because it's just, you know, it makes the game more enjoyable while also painful. Now, in regards to everything we talked about today, the thing I'm really looking at the most is possibly something new for PvE, because we know all of the events that we're gonna get that I mentioned earlier. You know, there's gonna be tons of events, but they're basically just recycle events. And then I also had somebody talk about when I was in my Discord, they also mentioned maybe a no rush mode in PvP. Now that would be interesting, because that kind of just sets the apart for the people that just gets cards and gets a rush instantly and just rush, while people who have that, you know, who actually have skills and don't rush, you know, no one's telling you not to rush. That's why it's in the game. But those people that literally get a rush at the beginning of the match by clicking like 3 cards, that's insane. Nah, you need to chill. But somebody did mention that, so that is something worth mentioning as well, because that is something interesting to see if we do get something like that. But as far as that goes, I think that'll be it for today's video. As always, everyone have a blessed day. It's your boy JB. I'm out.